said don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Welcome to Morally Corrupt. Make sure you share, like, subscribe on our YouTube page, follow all the things that we're doing. Callie, I think we have to start with breaking news. Now, I know this isn't a news story. I mean, a news show, because we do that on Tuesdays, but this can't wait till Tuesday. We have to talk about this now. Right before we jumped on the podcast, I woke up to numerous text messages. Not good, and they didn't say good morning. They said, bam, a screenshot of Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie Osefo, their faces, mugshots, TMZ reporting. We know how TMZ works. I mean, if it's coming from TMZ, it's true. And they're being accused of fraud. We don't have many details, but all we know at this point, everybody first thought this was fake. Like, no, people were like, wait, no, it can't be. And I'm going to tell you why. At least for me, this is why I thought it was fake. So TMZ is reporting that she is facing 16 charges, including 7 felonies for allegedly making false misleading info fraud in excess of $300. Now, the $300 threw me off. That's why I was like, now, wait a minute, is this true? But she's also facing 1 misdemeanor count of making a false statement to an officer.
The $300 is just like the minimum of what it is to get that charge.
I guess I've just never seen it. Like, yeah, they should have left the 300 out, because that's $300 out. Because I was just like,
my friend was like, 300K? I was like, no. It's just like the minimum amount to get that charge.
Like, sure, her bell's going to be more than $300.
You know what ain't more than $300? Her lace front. Because what in the hell is that picture?
Well, that's the lace front that we knew from yesteryear, right? Like, remember how we met Wendy? Like the wigs touched the eyebrow, and then she came back. And I always felt sorry for her because she started filming like a month maybe after she had her baby, and so I always just felt bad for her. But like she is smiling in her mugshot though. There is a smirk, and Eddie looks dazed. Eddie looks like happy Eddie. Like
they both, something ain't clicking. What the hell is that smile from Wendy?
I don't know. I think she knew that this would get out. And so she had to make it seem like this is crazy. But what is going down in Potomac? I mean, it's just housewives in general. Why do you think you're gonna get away with it? Period. Why do you think you're getting away with it? But then being on TV and being a public figure, why do you not think that you're not subject to even a larger amount of scrutiny? I just don't understand.
Is the housewives question in general. Like, it makes no sense to be struggling that much financially to then go on a show that's all about keeping up with the Joneses. Which, you know what? I have to give some people some credit. The Giselles of the housewives, the Whitney Wild Roses of the housewives, it does not seem like they go out of their way to show that they have so much more money than they have. They keep it like pretty pee about how much money they have, and they're doing just fine. But like, there are a lot of people like Wendy, like Teresa, like it just keeps happening. Like, there's a bunch of people that want to be perceived like they have much more than they have on these shows. So I want to give credit to the ones that are just like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not going to be carrying Birkins because I don't have Birkins because I can't afford Birkins.
It's one of the reasons. There's several reasons why I would never be a housewife. But one of the main reasons is one, I don't want people all in my life like that. But 2, I don't want to feel like I have to keep up with the Joneses. I don't have the amount of money to be a housewife. We talk about this all the time about our housewife standard, and I want to feel poor. In no way can I financially keep up with this housewife standard. And I wouldn't try. I wouldn't even try. So like, this is why I appreciate like a Gina, from OC. I wouldn't
Gina's
even
another
try.
One. Gina's another one.
I wouldn't try to do that, but so many of them do, and they end up spending they don't start off making a lot of money.
No, usually they spend more than what they make on the show on
Remember
trying to keep up.
Joe Giudice came out and talked about like the money that they had to, I think it was Joe Giudice about the money he spent, lost more money than they made that first couple of seasons. Like, yeah, you're throwing these big parties. You're trying to show this lavish lifestyle for people you don't even know, for strangers, just to keep up with, as you said, the Joneses. But there are more,
it's another one that does it.
Dorit. There are more details about this. So get this. I was thinking like maybe this has to do with one of the many businesses that Wendy has, or, you know, that Eddie has that they do together, all of these things. Because it's crazy because this is so timely too, because we're getting the premiere of season 10. And obviously this wasn't on it. But what we do see Wendy doing is remodeling her house. We see her talking about this marble wall or fireplace she wants to the top of the ceiling. And Eddie's Eddie's always says, who's going to pay for that? Where's that money going to come? Well, let's go to the documents that are obtained by TMZ. The couple reportedly told police several designer bags and jewelry had been stolen. Wendy was later caught in a social media post wearing a diamond ring she claimed was stolen. An investigation determined numerous items that Osefo claimed were stolen had been purchased, then returned to the store, where a full refund was provided prior to the alleged burglary. The documents indicate that the couple had claimed $450,000 of personal property loss to an insurance company. That
What year was this? Does it say?
Doesn't say. But first off, like, insurance companies do not play when you say you've lost something. Like I had 2 wedding bands and I lost one of them. Or stolen. I lost one of them and I literally, it like fell out of my car and just like completely disappeared and I had to claim it. And they really don't ask about it. Should have been a sign. I wish it would have been my engagement ring so I could get all that money back. Because selling it, you don't even get anywhere close to it.
Yeah.
It was literally one of my first thoughts of the divorce. I was like, damn it. Wish I would have lost that. But they don't really ask that many questions, but they give you the money in full. You know, you fill it out, you do
My
an
husband's
investigation.
watches were stolen. The amount of details I had to give, he had 13 watches stolen.
Oh, well, that's different. I had one band.
Crazy how many questions I had to answer. But we did get the full amount for what we paid for the watches, not the value of them, which sucks, but the full amount of the watches that we paid for them. I want to know what year they did this.
Why?
And thought, because if it was last year.
It's definitely while she was on the show. It definitely happened while she was on the show. Is my thought, because
these people aren't dumb.
But also, like, to your point, okay, I lost one wedding band. They were like, this is easy, bam, bam, here goes the money. You know, it doesn't even amount the property or the personal property insurance you have to pay on it. They were like, here, girl, take this little thing. But with what you had to do and the questions in the investigation, that is for the reason of you don't think that they're watching your movements
100%,
and your behavior
100%.
and you're going to get on fucking social media and post you wearing the bag? This is 101.
We had to give like serial numbers.
Good alleged criminals.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not dumb. So it's crazy to me that like when you're filling out all that paperwork and they're asking you for a receipt from when you bought it, serial numbers of the items, like the amount of details they ask for, because if they we were in similar ranges of what we were asking for, then I know she had to do this same thing, which also like your insurance goes up. So you have is it worth it? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, I can't believe they thought they would get away with this.
She probably didn't get insurance again. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even be shocked if they did it and they're just like, we took a loss. Like, we don't want to pay the personal property insurance. It's not, again, they've been charged, innocent until proven guilty, blah, 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 blah. But 16 charges, 7 of them being felonies and 1 misdemeanor. These criminal. And for what?
Is just
not that crimes ever justified, but for some
yeah,
persons.
But for what? But for what? You're not doing
you know
it
what
for.
I mean?
You're not doing it to buy baby formula.
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, for the kids, so they can go to private school. Like, it's so you can stunt. You know, like, again, all these things innocent until proven guilty. But either way, how embarrassing. Let's just
Very embarrassing.
The public perception of it. How embarrassing. And particularly because
I'm shocked, to be honest with you.
Floored. I'll be
Okay.
thinking about it for the rest of the day. And I almost want to go back and watch not Wendy's first season, but her second season on Potomac, because the way Wendy presents herself, it's always that I'm above all of this. You know, I have multiple degrees. I'm above this. We have multiple businesses.
Totally. I'm smarter than you.
And it's like, nah, you are being accused of something that it's like Giselle is having where's Giselle? I'm gonna call her. She said, I know everybody there is just shook. And we don't even know what the rest of filming has been like this season. They're privy to more information. I know there's going to be something. I mean, I just gave you the example of we're watching the first episode, and she's talking about renovating her house, and they're talking about how well Happy Eddie is doing, and Happy Eddie, and he's opening up another store. And
that was my first
sharing
thought.
it
Did
with
they
their
use the money on the businesses? You better hope not.
Right? And they're telling their kids, like, what do you want to be? You could be anything. A crook.
I am shocked that for as smart as both of them seem, I'm shocked Eddie went along with this, to be honest with you, because he doesn't really even get to benefit that much. Like, he doesn't stunt the way that she does. Unless it went into Happy Eddie, I don't really understand it. But I guess them opening up Happy Eddie should have been a sign of something, of them needing more. Like,
or
he
they're
is
just entrepreneurs.
He is a doctor.
He's a lawyer.
Oh, he's a lawyer?
Mm-hmm.
No.
He's a lawyer.
Oh, I thought he was a doctor.
I'm almost positive he's a lawyer.
I feel like I've seen him in a little white coat.
Well, let me tell you what he will not be. Employed.
Yeah, man.
There's I think alone, the charges enough alone are, you know, it's bad for an employer. Like, especially if he's a lawyer, you know, you can't be accused of certain things and then, you know, out here trying to represent people at the same time. But I just looked at it like, oh, they're doing the housewife thing of wanting to Osefo, Olivia. They're doing the housewife thing of they're on TV, they have this public image. It's an opportunity to capitalize on, you know, making money off of it. That's how I always looked at it. And I thought, oh, that's actually a really good avenue to jump into.
It's not a bad avenue. It just kind of seemed off-brand from what we had seen from them. Just like, she's changed a lot from when we first met her.
Yeah, for sure. And I understood 1 and 2 because, again, she was, you know, she just had a baby, and so she's getting her groove back. But yes, and she quit being a professor.
The show changed her. He's a lawyer. You're right.
And he was see, he might be his whole job might be in jeopardy. She stopped being a professor at Johns Hopkins. His job is in jeopardy with these accusations. It's like, this is not great. They have a family. I'm hoping for the best. I hope that this is a misunderstanding because they do have kids and all of this. But man, at the end of the day, we don't know. Again, innocent until proven guilty, but we do know this is embarrassing.
Beyond embarrassing. And it's just more embarrassing to me for her specifically. Like, it's embarrassing in general for anyone, but for you, the one that's always riding your high horse, the one that's smarter, the one with all these degrees, the doctor, the lawyer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to say the cost of fame, but just the desire to keep up with a lifestyle that's not you. That needs to be studied more. That is a real addiction, and it's a disease. The desire to look famous, look wealthy, all of that, and at what cost? Anyways, more info to come, and we'll keep you guys updated. Of course, we'll be talking about it here on Morally Corrupt, whether it's on Friday or Tuesday. Other things, we did get this. I know this is taking over and we had to address it, but we did get this season premiere of Potomac, and we're catching up with all the ladies. We're meeting some new ladies, which is exciting. I'm eager to see, even though the lady with the British lady, she's the one I thought that they got those dresses from last season for that dog
no,
show.
though, right?
I didn't go back and look, but when she came
I
on, I
don't
was like,
think so.
oh, that's the lady that they went dress shopping with when they went to that poop charity event, a dog pooping charity event. But per usual, since Stacy has joined Potomac, she is the talking point. She takes
the talk
show.
of the town.
But as I'm watching it, as entertained as I am by her, I'm scared. I'm scared that
Well, does she remind you of Katie?
no. Because with Katie, we knew she was not okay. Like
I think Stacy's okay, but
she's a liar. Katie wasn't a liar. Katie was just off. So it was like, what's good? Like,
their overall like temperaments remind me of each other, and the fact that I can't take anything seriously that she does just reminds me of Katie, and they both make me laugh. So that is why, but they're different. I think Stacy's fine. But she's a liar. She's not divorced. She paid that man.
Yeah.
And most likely her breath does stink.
No. Her breath stinks because, and I saw a little bit on Watch What Happens Live where they said it, and they were like, yeah, they said they were talking to Annie. I can't remember who was on. I think it was Giselle.
It was Giselle. Yeah.
Who was talking to Annie about it, and it's like it's true. And
Giselle and Lotto, who by the way, I'm like, are y'all related?
That they were cute together. They were cute. I think that that's one of the worst things. If there were a top 3 things that I mean, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't want to be, but I don't want to be boring. I don't want anybody to call me
rather
boring,
be boring than
simple, boring, simple, or bad breath. Because
No,
so it's like, is it
stank-
halitosis or is it
stank is better? I don't want any part of me smelling. I don't want anyone associating me and bad smells. That's not good.
Yeah. And so I'm like, is it halitosis? Is this something that we could attack? Or is this like one of those things where, when people have to, I used to be so afraid of this when I would be on a carpet for a long day and you're talking. And sometimes like, you're like, oh, they've been talking all day. Like they can get that bad breath smell. I'm like, is it that with Stacy? But the fact that they're calling it hot and they're saying this about Stacy as beautiful as she is, like I feel like she's come in this season looking amazing, but then she got that breath.
I think that if it were a one-time thing, they would not be mentioning it.
No. It's for sure.
It's a problem.
It is for sure. The husband thing with Stacy, the moment she walked in and she was with her husband, I'm like, I am starting to believe that might have just been a storyline for the first season. And that's where I'm like, she's not Katie. Stacy is so calculated that's where I'm like, I'm afraid because I don't like this in a housewife. I don't like. Yeah.
Like she is programming her storylines.
Remember, we loved her the first season because we were like, Stacy seems like she just doesn't get it. Like she doesn't know.
That was last
the
season,
housewives.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. She doesn't know the housewives rules. She's just bumbling. Like we just loved that she seems so green. And now it's like, I feel duped.
Yeah.
You hired a fake man.
That's our bad. She's been on TV too long. We should have known. And
what was she doing on TV?
She was trying to jump from QV sell herself.
She was selling. She's a saleswoman. We should have
And for her to
known.
try to jump from QVC to Bravo, she knew I got to make sure I pop if I want to make this stick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Sweet Pea. Also, the divorce thing, I'm like, you didn't think anybody was going to look anything up?
That's especially Ashley. Now, like that when say like it hasn't. Why did you just say it isn't finalized? But I guess
that we're going through it,
and we have a private judge or something. I don't know. Even though there would still be like a record of the filing. She should have been like we filed in Where is he from? Germany? We filed it. I don't know. She should have just said something like completely different. She got too many
She
lies.
had
She can't keep up with them.
When Ashley straight up asked her, she had no answer.
No, because she wasn't ready for that. She's got to be better. Who do you think the actress is that?
It's Vivica A. Fox.
Oh, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Has she come out and said anything?
No, because she did not want to be involved.
How do you know?
Because 9 billion comments, everyone, it's like 100% her. She was at the event. She is friends with him. I guess they're good
funny.
friends.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I like Vivica.
Miss Vivica was like, y'all got my man out here looking crazy. And did. Like, Stacy, you had that man looking crazy. And remember last year we were like, we can't fully believe him, but Stacy don't make sense, but that man, da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, that man was just acting. He was doing his job.
He did a good job. I mean, it was clear that they weren't,
sexual.
Yeah, like we thought, and I think that's why he hasn't come out, because everybody thought was questioning his sexuality. Not that that's fair, but that's what people were doing. So I feel like he was like, my reputation's taking a hit.
Yeah, which I think also, like, people probably questioned his sexuality partially because they had no sexual chemistry.
Right.
Because they weren't actually into each other or physical or anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also when she was like, I have forgiven him, I was like, Stacy, you lost me. If any man was coming on here trying to say that I paid them to be with me, I'm not just going to be like, I have forgiven him. Why? He hasn't forgiven you.
Yeah. It's yeah. My eye is on Stacy. But you know who had their eye on Wendy before we did? Kay. Kay said Wendy is being phony to her, and maybe Kay was onto something that we weren't quite privy to. TBD. Kay's gonna eat this one up if the relationship continues to stay strained. If it's strained for the rest of the season, then Kay's gonna be like, People are. I haven't looked at anybody's social media behavior, but I'd be interested to see if they have addressed it. Okay, shall we move on to Miami?
Oh man, Rachel, I was laughing out loud. Let me set the scene for y'all. Both of my eyes are swollen. I don't know why. I had little heat backs on the top of my little eyelids watching this show by myself in bed, cackling. Part 2 gave me what I needed from Miami. I don't even need the part 3. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the reunion. I'm Alexia. Couldn't wait for them to get back out on stage.
Alexia was so quiet. Alexia.
They all wanted the details.
Alexia. Okay, so we've reached the point of no return, which is why it's crazy that Julia was even saying in this episode, I still love it. Adriana, I want to be friends with her. At least she was alluding to that. And it's like, how could you want to when the allegations came out from Adriana? It's dark because friends have tiffs on these shows. Friends don't get along. They have ups and downs. Secrets might be alluded to, but they don't. It is rare we see something like this, where you are airing out not just dirty laundry, but dirty laundry that affects people's real lives and actual relationships. Because as Adriana is saying these things, and I'll let you take the honors of the things that she was yelling out, she had no idea if Martina knew, if the kids knew, and she was willing to blow up, jeopardize it all for just because Julia said these things out loud.
I do not fault Adriana for saying these things because she wasn't going to bring up anything. So she said to Julia, at first she was like, no, that's not true. Then Julia doubled down on it. said the time and the dates. Adriana looked at her and said, okay. I didn't want to say anything because I respect Martina. But if you are going to open the door, then I need to tell the full story. Because y'all are making it seem like I was just having an affair with a married woman. No, this woman was out here with the Haitian mortician getting fucked in a motel that she had to pay for.
But she outed her.
I have no problem. You outed her first.
I guess.
And outed her in a different way. As far as I know, Adriana's not lesbian or bi, as far as we know.
See,
right?
I thought maybe not.
No, because even last night she was like,
said
I have never scissored.
But didn't she say they patted each other? They pat the puss?
Last night she did.
Yeah, they pat the puss.
Yeah, but that was after Julia.
You know what, though? I guess because of the way she and Julia were.
How they acted with each other.
Yeah, when Julia said it, I wasn't. I was shocked that she said it. I wasn't shocked at what she revealed. I didn't look at it as she outed Adriana, and of course, that's not my place to say it because I always thought Adriana was kind of like, I love people. It's whatever. So I guess I just never looked at it that way. But I don't know. I mean, she said the Haitian mortician, she said you went to a motel, you paid for the motel, you bought him coffee. That's how I know she ain't lying.
No. You had to give him a coffee maker as a gift.
That's how I know she's not lying. That's too specific.
First of all, this whole situation, I believe every single thing Adriana said about
I believe Julia. And I believe Julia.
No. I believe what Julia said about her and Adriana. I think that they had sex.
Which part don't you believe?
Much else that comes out of Julia's mouth. Julia's a liar.
No. Julia's I'm talking about this situation.
Liar. In this situation, when she brought up the Haitian mortician that you had to book the motel for and give him a coffee maker, while Adriana was talking, everyone was like, what? People love the mortician piece, which also that is, what? Like, where did you even find this person? Julia goes, what? Who? I have no idea who she's talking about when Andy asked. Then later on, backstage, when she's walking with Andy was like, wait, so seriously about the mortician? Like, what happened? And
I thought she said stage.
No, on stage she said,
Martina
knows about everything, but not specifically about the mortician. She was saying that I've told Martina about everything. When she was asked specifically about the mortician, Julia said, I have no idea what she's talking about. She made it seem like Adriana was crazy. But then backstage, because Andy clearly thought what we thought and was like, that seems a tad bit too specific for Adriana to just be making that up. So Andy, being the queen we want him to be, went backstage with her and was like, so is it true about the Haitian mortician? And Julia said, TBD, and then walked into her room and then goes, well, no. Affair? No. So what was it then?
So I mixed that up. I really thought that she said it on stage, but it's so, as much as I enjoyed the beginning of it, but then it's like, oh, I hope Martina really does know everything, because even Andy saying, did Martina know you were going to mention this? And she's like, yes. And then she earlier said that Martina cried when she learned some of these things and they were in this dark place. And I do remember when she came on, it was kind of like, yeah, she and Martina necessarily didn't seem like they're in the place they are now. And I think that maybe this is why we've also seen Martina pull away from the show, because when Julia first came on, Martina was on a lot more. But Adriana's a liar too, because Adriana claims that she came into this reunion wanting to make amends with Julia. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, why does she have her heart in a box ready to give away to Julia? Why did she come with that prop? She was never, now I don't think she was ever going to do this. This was absolutely a response to Julia.
Obviously,
her
she wasn't
coming-
planning on that.
But her coming with ready to like give her heart back because Julia stomped on her heart. It's like, okay, well, how much were you really trying to make amends with Julia if you came in with this prop ready to give to her? Which that's some stuff you would see on Salt Lake City. When she comes in, like the letter writing with the liver and then the heart in the box, it's like, who made that? Well, honestly, probably Adriana did. She's the one who's into art. She probably made it.
She probably did make it. I'm not saying that Adriana's not a liar at all, but I think she's not lying about this part of it at all. And all the things I know about Julia, because remember when she first came on also, season 1 reunion, when Larsa was like, I saw you making out with someone.
That's right.
Julia has been out here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I believe that after she supposedly told Martina, did she still try to sleep with Adriana in Spain? I think she did.
Yeah, I think she did too.
I believe it. And I just think we've been talking about it all season. There's things that just don't add up with Julia.
The kid thing is weird. That doesn't add up to me.
The kid thing is very weird.
That's the biggest thing for me. That's at least this season. I can't remember all the other
older
seasons,
kids.
But the biggest thing for me, are why don't the older children accept it? And I felt like I got a little bit more insight. If I was assuming, it seems like Julia was not as an involved mother. She didn't even know where her kids went to school. So the fact that now you're going to raise other kids, it's like, but, maybe a little, how are you going to be there for them when you weren't there for us like that? Or, oh, now you want to be an involved mother when you weren't for us. So, maybe that's that, but we don't know. And hopefully we'll get that answers to that. And the third part, but this is taken over. We haven't even really been able to get into the meat of it all. And I'll be honest, even in this reunion, when Andy tried to turn a corner, I was like, no, let it play out. We still have more to get into. Don't try to change the subject with something else.
I mean, when he did change the subject at the very end of the reunion, like I just didn't care.
Yeah, no.
The whole time I was thinking like, wait, so also Adriana said it happened a lot of times. How many times? How often was this happening? Did you actually ask? Wait, do you think she actually asked her to leave Martina? I didn't believe that part.
No, I don't believe that part either. And when Adriana says a lot of times, I think she means Julia came onto her all
the time.
Yeah.
Well, also finding out that the first time they ever met, Julia came onto her. Julia is just a little free spirit.
Who called her a nymph? Somebody calls her
Stephanie, who's known her for 5 days.
Stephanie said it. I mean, that the tea is hot when Alexia is like just sitting there.
Her mouth open, just looking back and forth.
Like Alexia could not handle it. Stephanie could not. Larsa was quiet too. I mean,
Larsa was also laughing at some. Her and Stephanie were like giggling at it. I also want to make a point that to me, that side of the couch, Alexia, Marisol, Julia, they were shocked, but then they wanted it to use this to make Adriana look bad. And I was like, Adriana is single. She can do what she wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Julia is the person that is doing something that she should not be doing. And I only say she should not be doing because Andy asked, are you guys in an open relationship?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, absolutely not. Well, right. I would not be surprised, and I would not want to put this on anyone, especially with 2 young babies. I don't think Martina knew all the things that Adriana was going to share on stage. I don't think that Julia told her about all that stuff.
I think she knew about the Haitian mortician.
I don't. I think that's why. I think that's why Julia tried to.
Part?
I think that's why Julia tried the cop.
The cop.
I think that's why Julia tried to deny the Haitian mortician at first. I don't think that she knew, and I would assume she is going to be quite embarrassed. Martina has an ego. And the way they were talking about it all and laughing, and Julia, like, didn't even really fully pick up, like, "Honey, they're also, like, embarrassed for you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Julia wants to be friends with them so badly that she's just happy they're talking to her.
Martina's 68. She's a legend in tennis. She's known for this. And at the end of the day, at least people who watch Housewives, this is also a part of your legacy. And we don't know what Martina may have done her own stuff in the marriage. We have no idea. We don't know that. We're not
Oh,
privy
yeah,
to
I'm
that.
not saying
But
from what we've seen,
we
she's not the
do know,
warmest.
this is ridiculously embarrassing. Even if she has done something, it's now out there. And I know, Martina was probably thinking she was protecting herself by pulling away from filming the show, not realizing that her business was still going to be a topic of conversation. And even next season, it's going to be, right? We're ending here. It'll be interesting of how they'll film. Will Martina even agree to be on camera? Will she allow the boys to be on camera? Obviously Julia's coming back next season, but what will Julia's life look like? I mean, it's really, I just can't even imagine Martina having to sit and watch this and have all your business out there, or the daughters. If your relationship is already fragile with your daughters, and now it's like people are laughing at our mom. I
have a question for you. Does this make you think that differently of Adriana or Julia?
It makes me only in regards to their friendship.
It's basically the same.
Well, really of Julia, because I'm not shocked that, when Larsa was like, "I saw you kissing the guy," I believe Larsa.
Yeah, me
flat
too.
out, straight. So I'm not shocked that Julia has stepped out on Martina, or even if they had an open relationship. I'm shocked. I look at them differently as friends because I really thought they had a genuine friendship. And even when I saw them arguing this season on the show, even at the end, I thought they'll work it out. I thought they had been friends for longer than they had been. But it seems like their friendship wasn't based on friendship. It was based on, like, Julia
Chemistry.
really seemed to have like this crush on Adriana. There was this flirtation, and it wasn't rooted in the foundation was shaky. So I guess I just look at them differently because I thought that they were these close friends, when in reality, I do believe Julia, I keep wanting to call her Juliana. I do believe that Adriana was like using their friendship or secrets about their friendship and things that they've done as a way to control her friendships with other people. I 100% believe that.
I agree because we just seen her like, "You don't want me to go there. What else are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So I do believe that. I do think that Adriana was using that against Julia, but I also believe that Julia may have been using Adriana to get on the show.
I think that too.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she wanted to escape from the relationship and her reality with Martina. And so the show was going to give her.
Julia does.
Yeah, this show was going to give her that.
Like, based on the history of Julia's life, it seems like she is moving from person to person to see what she can get from whoever.
I'd be curious to know her sign. It definitely seems, you know me. It definitely seems like she's got, let's see. I could have guessed this. She's a Cancer. She's a Cancer. A lot of Cancers in Housewives.
Emotional.
And they keep everything inside until they can't anymore. Well, we'll see what we pick up in part 3. I mean, this might be one of those reunions where we might need a part 4 just because this is so unexpected and it really just took up a whole nother episode. But there's still so many other things I feel like they have to get to. I feel like we scratched the surface with Stephanie, Lisa and Larsa's relationship, Alexis and we kind of talked about them, but we didn't. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much more to get into. So we'll see. Is it 3 parts or 4? Do we know?
I would assume 3.
I'll assume 3. But I feel like we only had one 4-part reunion. Okay, let's move on to Salt Lake City, where things get a little dark in some ways.
I was going to say this whole episode to me was, first of all, great again, unless I'm missing something. Like, no shouting happened this episode, right?
Only at the very beginning where they picked up where they left off.
Yeah.
Because
But
Wendy walked away.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
For the most part, no shouting the entire episode. So that means like no major blowout. And it was still a really good episode.
And do
That
you
is
know
where
why?
you want to be. That is where you want to be.
Why was it a good episode? Because of Angie. Angie is
Oh, I thought there was other
Angie's
things
such
that
a star to
happened.
me. No,
I love
there
Angie.
are, but like Angie is such a star. She's witty. She looks great. She's got she's got drama in the group. She's got friendships in the group. She's not afraid to confront people. She's not, she's got her own business. She's just got stories. And just when you think, oh, what is Angie going to come in with? Angie, I just find her so entertaining. There's just so many layers to her.
Did you like her diss?
Her diss in her voice note to Lisa?
You do French fries, I do franchise. And then I loved when Heather had to retell it to Mary, and Mary, oof, that's good. That's good.
She's good. Angie's good. Angie, even her when she's telling Heather the story of the back and forth with Lisa. Like Lisa thought her bringing the assistant and having the assistant come and pick up the fresh wolf, and then the $600 was enough. But I don't remember Angie's exact response. Oh, she's like, you need to be using that $600 to pay off those lawsuits. I'm like, Angie did it again.
Angie's quick.
Angie did it again. She's great.
Quick.
She's great.
They've had Mary and Lisa so far on Watch What Happens Live. The one lawsuit that was not settled is still not settled.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she still has the one lawsuit. We knew that.
Yeah.
That's why it was funny that she wrote dismissed on it. That's why when she was on our show, I said, okay, but if, you can dismiss a frivolous lawsuit. We just saw it happen with Drake and Kendrick. Like, it doesn't have to go on for this long. If there's nothing there, you can file a motion to dismiss.
Yeah.
And it's still going.
It's still going.
It's still going. What else happens?
The biggest moment of the whole episode to me. Like looking at my screen like, what in the world? When Whitney had to grab Britani and be like, hey, put the cactus down. If your daughters are telling you that they would like to be more of a priority than men in your life, then like maybe let's take a break from dating. Britani was like, well, if that's the ask, that's a pretty big ask. And Whitney was like, but that's what you're telling me that she's asking. So that is the ask. And she was like, even when they're adults, you should probably prioritize your children, which like I would understand if Whitney was in like a very, very serious relationship and was so in love and her children just didn't. Britani, sorry. If Britani was so in love and her children just didn't understand, that's more of a conversation. But for you to just be flitting back and forth with all these different men, supposedly, on apps, whatever, and your kids are telling you, can you just focus on being a mom? And you're not, you don't even understand that shouldn't even be a question?
Yeah, it was dark. I mean, there's a lot of dark things.
Well, then we went straight from that to Bronwyn's conversation. And I was like, what? Is this the episode of The Bad Mother?
Yeah, because I wanted your take on
television.
Who? The Muzzy?
Britani. No, I couldn't believe
Britney's
Muzzy, her child knows who she is. So it's not as bad. Yeah. Britney's children will be watching this.
Yeah, because when we met Britani told us that she had a strained relationship with her daughters.
Yeah.
And she was working on it with them. But I mean, roll the tape. It does not seem like she's working on it with them as she continues to prioritize other men, allegedly, and we know for a fact, Jared. She is prioritizing this man who is back and forth with her, but it's like the fact that Whitney had to take both hands and hold her arms and like almost shake her, and Britney still did not seem to get it.
No.
Is devastating. Like, you clearly, it's sad. It's really, really sad. Like, Britney needs to be in some sort of therapy because her daughters are going to watch this. And if they're not watching it, somebody's going to tell her daughters about it. Your mother puts men above you, and there's just no other way around it.
It's men.
That's so sad. Like, how many daughters does she have? 2? Like, just...
We don't see them, so I don't know.
It's sad for her relationship with her daughters, and then it's just sad for Britney as a person. Like, you don't even understand it. You're the desperation for you to feel loved by a man, to have that male attention is the number one thing in your life, and you're willing to sacrifice. We already knew she was sacrificing her own dignity and her own and all of this, like, because of how we've seen her with Jared. But to know that she's also willing to sacrifice her daughters for it all, for nothing at the end of the day, because Jared's really giving her nothing, and I'm sure these other men aren't either, is just, I mean, the saddest part was she walked away, and I still don't think she got it.
No, I know. She seemed confused when Britney was, when their names are too close, when Whitney was like, wait. Because Whitney was talking to her, and she was just like playing with the cactus. And like, Whitney was like, she's not understanding me. Like, I need her to look me in the eyes. I think Whitney was also like, are you sure you want to say this like out loud on TV while you're being recorded?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm not sure that she got it. It also makes a lot more sense why she's just desperate for a man's attention.
I know.
And willing to put up with whatever, it seems.
Yeah. No, it like, we knew that, but I don't think we thought, but she's also willing to sacrifice her relationship with her daughters in the process.
Anything.
Like, why would our minds go there? Because it's so fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Why would our minds even think that?
I thought to myself, I like Britney for the show, but if she does not get some sort of self-reflection from this episode, like, that was rough. That's rough.
She won't. I'd be interested to see how she addresses it either on Watch What Happens Live or the reunion, but it's rough. And then we go on, because there's a theme here. So we're watching Britney put a man over her child. Mm-hmm. Then we go to Muzzy, which that name is yikes.
Muzzy's perfect for her.
We go to Muzzy putting religion and reputation and image over her other daughter. And that's dark as well. All these years have passed. What's her daughter's name? Bryn?
Bryn.
Is it Bryn? She's an adult now at this point. And in all these years, in 18 years, you still have not come to terms with it, been taking some accountability. Gwen, your daughter made a mistake, and I use air quotes, under the religion part of it, right? According to your religion, your daughter messed up. But the fact that there's no grace and no space given, this is what I'll never understand about religion. There's no latitude given in any kind of way. I don't even know if latitude is the word, but given in any kind of way for someone to make a mistake is beyond me. If you teach that nobody's perfect and that no sin is greater and no sin's greater than the next, why is that sin worse than anything? It blows my mind.
If you're taught that you are not supposed to be the judge or make judgment, why are you doing it to your own daughter? And why are you worried about people judging?
Because reputation, like, your father was in the church. Like that the part of the conversation where she's like, I taught you not to drink, smoke, sex. And I would have never thought, I would have bet, I'm paraphrasing, bet my life on the fact that
you weren't
she said, put my
things.
head on the chopping block, that you would have never done those things just because I told you not to. And it's like, It just, all these years later, she still thinks that the way that she did it was right. No accountability, no remorse of the fact that you have a strained relationship with your daughter. None of that.
Well,
because of your reputation, because the dad was in the church, or just being tied to the religion. It's wild to me.
Also, no accountability at all. You would have put your head on the chopping block that your daughter wasn't doing that because you didn't have a good relationship with your daughter because she was scared that she couldn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
Maybe if you allowed for more conversation, you would have known what your daughter was up to. And you may have been able to guide her differently. And then even if she still makes a quote unquote mistake, she's been able to have Gwen, have a good life. Gwen is doing okay. At what point are you like, well, I can't imagine my life without Gwen?
Exactly. It's like she can't get over what it did to her reputation. If all have sinned and fallen short, I just don't get it. Also, I mean, Mormon religion's different and they have Joseph Smith, but I thought that, and forgive me guys, I'm not well versed in Mormon, but I thought Jesus was still a thing, not in the same way as Baptist, but I thought whatever.
I think so.
And let's just say he is, then I just don't, Jesus wouldn't do this. I just don't, he would not do this. He was with all kinds of people because all have sinned and fallen short. How do you bring people in if you're so quick to cast them out? I just will never understand that.
Well, also, there's all that. She's still not over it. She still hasn't forgiven her. She still looks at her like she's just made this huge mistake, even though that mistake is alive and well and 22 years old, whatever, however old Gwen is. But then she also gives anything that Bronwyn has built for herself to Todd. She's like, well, of course you did that because you had Todd. I'm not worried about you because you have Todd. So her being first of all, moving them in, taking care of their expenses,
come on,
all of that, that's all because of Todd, not Bronwyn. Even though Todd don't like you, it don't seem.
No. Probably because of this.
Yeah.
Probably because of this. And I'm not saying be a vindictive person, but you would fully understand.
Yes.
If Bronwyn did not want to take care of her.
I would fully understand Todd not wanting to, based on the 2 episodes of behavior that we've seen from her mother. It actually makes me look at both Bronwyn and Todd differently. That they are willing to. Bronwyn's I know my parents are flawed, but I love them and they've given a lot to me. And she is willing to take the abuse from her parents and still make sure that they're good. By the way, I shouldn't say parents because I don't know what her dad thinks. As far as we know, her dad has been on the other side of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd actually be interested to know what the dad thinks because she seems to be more lovey about him than her mom.
But he has dementia. So.
I know. But I would love to know. What her dad thinks. But she is willing to accept her parents' flaws and her mother's verbal abuse and still make sure that they're good and take care of them. And so is Todd. A lot of people aren't that forgiving.
And no, you're 100% right. And also kudos, learning more about Bronwyn and the environment that she grew up in, particularly surrounding the time that she was pregnant. Kudos to Bronwyn for having the strength and courage to say, I know how you feel. I know how I was raised. I'm not giving up this child. I want this child. I'm going to make it work. That is a strong-willed person because a lot of people could have wanted to hide it, give the baby up, not, and I'm a pro-choice person. So, to each its own, but maybe decided not to have the baby, whatever it may be, growing up in that household, knowing what you would be subjected with. She didn't know she was going to meet a Todd or anybody at that point. And she still was like, I want this child. That just goes a lot to show who the strength that Bronwyn and courage that Bronwyn has. And I also love that she's like, and I'm going to raise my daughter a completely different way because I don't want her to be subjected to what I was.
I thought it was funny when she was talking to her mom and she was like, can you imagine if I asked if me and my boyfriend could stay at the house? And her mom was like, I can't imagine because that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have allowed that. And I was like, well, honey, little Miss Muzzy, you didn't have to. She still got pregnant. You see the difference?
Exactly. No, she doesn't. That's what she does. It's like, I, you know, I don't have kids, but if I did, I would want more of an open relationship too, because not by any way were my parents like Muzzy, but I grew up in a very religious household where if I had gotten pregnant at 18, I don't know if I would have had the strength to do what Bronwyn did because I would have been fearful of, oh, what are they going to say? I'm not supposed to be having sex before marriage, blah, 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 blah. And I always wish that I would have had, you know, like sometimes more, and I wrote about this in my book, Growing Up in Purity Culture, more of an open relationship where I didn't feel so fearful of talking about sex and all of those things. And so I love that Gwen and Bronwyn have that. Now, would I be moving my daughter's boyfriend into the house just to keep her near? No, that's a different subject for another day. But
how old is she though?
She's 18, but she moved the boyfriend into the house because she wasn't ready for Gwen to leave.
Yeah.
That's a different story for another day.
I grew up in a strict household, but I never felt like I couldn't tell my parents anything. And then my brother told my parents that I lost my virginity at my grandfather's funeral, which I was very upset about at the time.
He said it at the funeral?
Not like at the day of the funeral, which I was very upset with him at
Which
the
brother?
time. My older brother. He was pissed. But it did allow me to just be like, all right, well, now they know. So I'll be honest about whatever's happening. Like it just like I feel like it made it easier for me past that point to just like talk about things with my parents. But not the way I would have wanted to start. But it all worked out. But we had people in and out of our house my entire life. Like we adopted 2 boys. We always had even more people live with us. So like both 2 out of 4, or I guess 2 out of 6 of my siblings had significant others live at my parents' house at some point in time.
That's cool.
But not because they didn't want them to go away. It was just like easier.
Well, also you had brothers. I grew up with all girls.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like when you have brothers, they like you're exposed to more. There's a little bit more leverage. Like there maybe my parents would have been more understanding, but no, I grew up in a strict household and I was afraid to like strict and very religious.
Also, it was more strict for me than it was for them. Like I didn't move in a boyfriend.
For sure.
I wouldn't have even asked to do that.
I couldn't have boys. I could have boys come over.
Or not. That's just
sure.
You know what it was 20 years ago.
And I always wonder how it would have been with the guy. Like I could have boys come over, but we had to stay in the common areas. I couldn't have them in my room.
Neither could I.
None of that. But I feel like if I had a brother that they could have.
They were allowed to. Also, depends on where you are in the line. Like my older brother wasn't allowed to. But by the time it got to my younger 2 brothers, they were tired. My parents were tired. You know?
It's like that. But it's still just, you're right. This episode, like 2 things just blow my mind. Britani prioritizing her daughters and Muzzy still being in the same place she was 18 years ago. Despite all of this, are you shocked that Muzzy's filming?
Based off everything we know about Muzzy, I am shocked that she's filming. It does not. I won't say that she looks thrilled to be there, but
she doesn't look thrilled to be there. But it almost feels like
shocked she's filming.
I could see it's like if you're going to be here, the cameras are going to be here. But also, if she's still this deeply tied to religion, which I would have no reason to believe she's not, she could be looking at it as a way to, in a twisted way,
separate herself.
Yeah, like I'm not like them. Like despite my daughter getting pregnant in this way, I still uphold the values and the, you know, whatever of Mormonism. And I'm, you know, using my light or my voice to bring awareness to the religion. You know, like I know what you've seen of Bronwyn, but I'm not like this. It could be a way of her rehabilitating herself. Who knows? But I am shocked that despite everything, she still wants to be a part of this. But, you know, who knows? I thought we were done with Muzzy after last episode, but it seems like we're going to get quite a bit of Muzzy.
Muzzy, what do they hold at Salt Lake?
They hold snowflakes, but
Muzzy might get a snowflake.
There's something sexual about the name to me. I don't know why. It sounds like a sex toy. There's something about it that's like just makes me feel
I don't know what you do,
I don't
Rachel,
like it.
But
yeah,
Muzzy does not remind me of sex.
No, it's like a sexual toy. Like, go get the Muzzy. Let's use the Muzzy later tonight. Do you know what I mean?
Julia.
Yeah, Julia will know. Julia will know.
She knows.
Okay. That is it for us here on Morally Corrupt. Jam-packed episode. We didn't do OC just because we have 3 other shows that we're giving. Plus, we had breaking news this episode, so we decided to cut short. Maybe we'll touch a little bit on OC on Tuesday, depending how the news of the week goes. Hopefully, we have more information about what's going on with Wendy and Eddie and the Osefo family over there, but also right on time for BravoCon. Will Wendy show up? She will, because she needs to look unfazed. Is she allowed to travel out of state? She probably, but she might use that as an excuse. But she also probably wants to look like, I'm not bothered. She probably will bring that very bag that got her in trouble in the first place. Who knows? I could see Wendy coming in an orange outfit, like oranges, like I some type of gimmicky thing, which would probably not be great for her case, but we'll see. TBD. We will keep you guys updated on it. Until then, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Have a great weekend. We will see you guys Tuesday, where I will be joined by another co-host. As I am, it'll be a surprise to you guys, but make sure you tune in for News of the Week. Until then, bye guys.